Upper90studios.com.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. 56 points Game Week 17, red arrows for the first time since Game Week 11. Upper 90 Studios dropped around 100,000 places in the overall rank, now sitting between 500 and 600k with close to 950 total points. Good or bad, I look forward to seeing all your team updates in the comment section. Before I get started, I want to mention that I'm going to be going away to visit my parents in Florida. I'll be spending the winter holidays on the beach, and I can't wait. Of course, I'm going to be sneaking out to watch all the games, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to post new videos while I'm there. I'll still be available, as always, in the comment section below, or on the blog at upper90studios.com. There's also Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email, whichever method you prefer, I'm here. So what happened? Why the red arrows Game Week 17? Kevin De Bruyne. Son and Dele Alli have been excellent. This time they blanked just when De Bruyne put up 19 points. Last week I made 3 transfers, Guaita, Tompkins, Abraham, for Henderson, Robertson, Ings. As you can see, the results were just okay. The new player scored a total of 15 points, minus the -4 hit. The sold player scored 9. I'm happy with the defensive changes. Up front is a different story. Let's cover that now with the Game Week 17 review. Vicente Guaita, 8 points. Despite being completely outplayed for most of the game, Crystal Palace restricted Brighton to shots from distance, which were easily dealt by Guaita. 9 saves made, maximum bonus points. A total of 8 points is fantastic for a goalkeeper, considering he didn't keep a clean sheet or save a penalty. I sold Dean Henderson, who kept a clean sheet, for 6 points, but fixtures through December should give an edge to Crystal Palace. John Lundstrom, 11 points. As mentioned on the previous video, Lundstrom had a matchup advantage against Aston Villa, who had injuries to defenders on the side he likes to attack. I had benched Lundstrom in his previous 3 games in which he blanked. This time, I wanted to start him, and it was part of the reason why I sold Robertson, who had a blank the following week. So always look at the positives. Here are some of my notes on Lundstrom. You can pause the video if you'd like. By the way, Robertson had 1 point. I forgot to mention that. Alexander-Arnold, 6 points. Clean sheet, and he avoided the yellow card suspension. Normally, Salah covers the right side, and he likes to cut inside, leaving space for Alexander-Arnold to cross. This time, Shaqiri was on the right wing, which restricted Alexander-Arnold going forward and creating chances. It's a small note, but if Shaqiri continues to be used in this manner, it could affect Alexander-Arnold's scoring potential. And also Salah, because he would be free to attack a more central position closer to FPL points. Ben Chilwell, 2 points. He had a few good runs and crosses down the left, but overall, Leicester, they were vulnerable defensively and could have conceded more goals. There were gaps in the midfield and not enough protection for the back 4. Could this be an area for Manchester City attackers to exploit? Game Week 18. James Tompkins, 5 points. He was on my bench, but he was an absolute rock for Crystal Palace. 12 clearances, and the assist to Zaha that robbed Brighton near the end. I benched him, Game Week 17, but he could play a more important role in my team, starting with Game Week 18. It's now a battle between James Tompkins and Martin Kelly. Differential versus template. We'll see who comes out on top. Sadio Mane, 6 points. He provided the assist for Salah, and he scored from a header that was disallowed by VAR. He should have had another assist at the end to Origi, who scuffed his shot, then Salah tucked it away with a back heel. I'm going to show you my plan for Mane and Salah later in the video. Maddison, 2 points. Vardy, 5 points. It looked like Vardy scored from Maddison's corner, but it was actually given as an own goal for Krul. Maddison was a constant threat from set pieces, and Vardy had a number of chances to score. I can remember in this 47th minute, Maddison put Vardy through, he rounded the keeper, but his shot bounced off the near post and out. Both played midweek in the League Cup. Maddison scored. Vardy had an assist. Son, 2 points. Dele Alli, 2 points. It was always a difficult trip to Wolves, who have been solid at home this season. In terms of FPL, both players had chances, especially early in this game. Tottenham's winner in stoppage time should give them a lift, and they face a Chelsea defense that allowed Bournemouth attackers way too much space in behind. Raul Jimenez, 5 points. He provided the assist to Traore, but he could have scored a goal or 2 on his own. These are some of my notes on Jimenez. You can pause the video if you'd like. Now on the bench, Hayden, 2 points. He was more involved in the attack than usual because Newcastle were missing key attackers against Burnley, so he had to step up. I can remember he put in a perfect cross to Andy Carroll, whose header was just wide. Initially, I was thinking of starting Hayden Game Week 18, but I changed my mind. Now for the negative, and that's Tammy Abraham, 2 points. Bournemouth with 5 defeats in a row coming into this game, and they had injuries to key players like Nathan Ake. No excuse for Abraham at home, but I have to take some of the blame because Chelsea's attackers, they have been missing that sharpness in recent games. The pressure is on him to keep his place in my team, and I already have ways to invest the funds if I decide to sell him. Now the top picks for Game Week 18. James Tompkins. He was excellent defensively, and he is due a goal from set pieces. If Newcastle cannot get their key attackers fit in time for Game Week 18, Tompkins could benefit. Tottenham attackers. I can remember Josh King getting in behind Chelsea's defense so easily. Now imagine Son, Lucas Moura running at Chelsea's defenders. Kevin De Bruyne, it's not just because of the 19 points Game Week 17. I'm considering the matchup against his next opponent. Leicester's defense, they were constantly exposed by Norwich, then Everton midweek. The commentators blamed Soyuncu for letting players get in behind, but I would point the blame at the midfielders who left all these big gaps in front of the back four. And this is the exact area that De Bruyne loves to cover. Arsenal had no idea how to deal with De Bruyne, who was playing a free role. As a non-owner in FPL, I was begging for Arsenal to make a change early on to put a player to shadow De Bruyne wherever he went. It wasn't to be, so he crushed it, and it should have been more. He should have had a hat-trick. Another positive for KDB is he was fully rested in the League Cup midweek. Wolves attackers, Jimenez, Jota, they have great chemistry, and when you're unselfish, your teammates are more willing to return the favor. Traore completely destroyed Vertonghen last week. He's been massive for them. But I don't know if he was struggling with a shoulder problem near the end, so I'm going to be looking out for an update from Nuno before deadline. Danny Ings blanked. I sold him, but he was unlucky not to score against West Ham. He hit the underside of the bar and smashed one into the top corner from 25 yards, but the ref had already blown his whistle. Good fixture next against Aston Villa. According to our fixture difficulty cheat sheet, Southampton at home against West Ham was red for Danny Ings. Our fixture ratings, they use a unique algorithm to determine team strength, and it's only going to get stronger with new updates. I can't wait to knock out the latest update and have it ready for you guys at the beginning of the new year. Other notables are Marcus Rashford, even though he blanked against Everton, which by the way, our fixture cheat sheet labeled Everton at home for United, a red fixture for United attackers, Game Week 17. This week, it's green against Watford. Rashford, he redeemed himself in the League Cup, scoring 1 and providing an assist to Martial. One note on Watford is how hard they worked at both ends of the pitch against Liverpool, so this one, it might not be as easy as it looks on paper. I've also added Antonio and Pukki to my watch list, but I'm not considering them just yet. West Ham, they have off this weekend, and Pukki could be an injury doubt. So those are the top picks. What's the plan for Game Week 18? Initially, I was going to bank the transfer and just use my bench players. Now I've changed my mind. So transfers out, Mane, transfers in, De Bruyne. No hit. Then I have to decide whether to bring in Salah or Mane for Game Week 19, or wait the extra week in order to minimize the transfer hits because I could bank a transfer next week. I'm also going to have to decide which player to sacrifice in order to bring in Salah or Mane. This is going to definitely chip away at that team balance that I've been talking about, but as we saw last week, one key player can make the difference between green and red arrows. I want to stay flexible with my strategy and take it game by game. Let's see the transfer plan in action. Here's my current team. Game Week 18, Mane out, De Bruyne in. Now I have a difficult decision to make Game Week 19 or 20, and that's when to bring Salah or Mane back. I can make that decision after watching more games. Nothing is set in stone just yet. I can make adjustments as I get new information. If I go through with this plan, Abraham could make way. Then I have to choose who to sell between 3 important players: Alexander-Arnold, Maddison, Jimenez. They're all very similar in price and points potential. If I sell Alexander-Arnold, the formation changes to a 3-5-2 with Tompkins as a starter. My power 7 in the attack, I'm going beast mode. It's an absolute monster. The risks are that I've now sold the defender with the highest point ceiling in the game, and his ownership could hold with the experts despite the blank Game Week 18. This plan could work best if I wait until Game Week 20 using 2 free transfers. I could play Abraham at home against Southampton Game Week 19, while Liverpool are away at Leicester after the matches in Qatar. Still super sketchy to go without Mane or Salah, even if it's for just one game. Waiting until Game Week 20, it would also be after the cutoff for yellow card suspensions. Players on 4 yellows could still be banned until Game Week 19. If I sell Maddison, it becomes a 4-4-2. This option is easier on the transfer hits, and I could improve the weakest position in my team later on, Winston Reed. If I sell Jimenez, then it becomes a 4-5-1 with Vardy as the lone striker. This one has strong defenders and midfielders, but what happens if Vardy is rested? So that's what I have in mind for the upcoming weeks. One of my favorite sayings is to jump off the cliff and build the wings on the way down. That's exactly what I'm doing this week by selling one of the top players in FPL, Mane. Don't forget, I'm going to be going away to Florida and might not be able to put up a new video, but I'm always available in the comments, and I look forward to all your messages. Happy holidays, and I hope you guys finish 2019 with big green arrows. So that's going to be a wrap for today. Stay tuned for my next video. If you like my music, all my songs are free to download on the website. See the link in the description. Be sure to follow at Upper 90 Studios on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where you'll get an inside scoop before YouTube. And if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and turn on your post notifications, because this season is going to be incredible. Don't forget to subscribe to our email list and get your free fixture difficulty cheat sheet. Click the fantasy tab at upper90studios.com. If you're on a computer, it's at the top right of the page. If you're on the phone, it's at the bottom. Thanks for watching. See you soon.